Hi, welcome to Tarot Tuesday. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit, excuse me, with our tarot lessons. Last week, actually 2 weeks ago, sorry, a little frog in my throat there. I did a 3 card spread, a past, present, and future, pardon me, which was very interesting at the time. But I kind of want to backtrack a little because I want to get into a little bit more of little sections of the tarot. So we're going to go with the major arcana. We're going to go with the minor arcana. And the minor arcana, they are separated into suits. So we're going to take each of those. So today, what we're going to do is the major arcana. So this is the beginning of the tarot deck, basically. So the major arcana represents a journey. And I touched on this in the very beginning with our beginner's guide to tarot. And it represents the journey of the fool. And it goes through this journey to completion. Okay, so it's telling a story through the life of the fool as he learns lessons and meets other cards throughout his journey. So they represent the element of spirit, and each card represents and embodies a universal archetype. So the journey of the fool can be very reflective of our own lives. It can reflect life's ups and downs and shows us transformation. So as the fool goes through this journey, there's a transformation occurring. And the fool must go through this journey in order to experience the wholeness of everything. So this can apply to our lives obviously as well, because that's what the tarot deck actually does, is take us through a journey. It helps us understand our intuition, and it helps us understand where we are going. As you can see by the past, present, and future spread that we did, we start out with where we were, where we are now, and where we are headed. So today we will go through in order the major arcana cards. I'm going to go back to the traditional Rider Tarot deck, and we're going to start with the Fool. Okay, here is the Fool. All right. And you can see here that he's very lucky, carefree, doesn't have much of a care in the world, right? So this represents the beginning of the journey, new beginnings, but it also represents risk. So we're beginning this journey, but we're also risking some things in the process. So we're starting out completely anew, and we are risking a few things as we go through that. There's always a risk when you start a new journey, whether it is travel or whether it's literally your life. So whether that is a relationship or a new job or any kind of transition that you might be going through. So the Fool begins with new beginnings. He's also very innocent. He really doesn't have anything under his belt just yet, and he's ready to go on a new adventure. Next, we have the Magician. So what the Magician represents for us is manifestation. All 4 of the elements are represented in this card, okay? So we're getting ready to manifest our desires and go on this journey to find what it is that we want, okay? So the Magician is representative of manifestation in your journey. Then we have the High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess is your intuition. Now, there are a lot of cards in the tarot deck that represent intuition. And intuition is an important part of our lives, whether we know it or not. And one of the things that I love to assist with my clients is to help them to hone their intuition, awaken it, make sure that they are listening to it. So the High Priestess is one of my favorite cards, and she helps us to really listen to our intuition. Okay. There is a duality here of black and white. So we have a little bit of balance going on. There's a lot of symbolism in this card, okay? This card is all about listening to your inner voice. You've heard about your gut instinct. That's what this card is telling you. Listen to your intuition, listen to your gut instinct, and understand that there is unseen knowledge out there. So there are things that you have yet to find on your journey, but understand that you will. Okay? Sorry, adjusting something there. All right, so next we have the Empress. Okay. She is quite beautiful and quite relaxed where she is, right? So she is really the center and the mother of the tarot deck. Okay. Not a queen, but an empress. So she represents creation. She represents being connected to earth, which grounds us as we go through our journey. She can represent fertility, whether that is having a family or conceiving a child, or whether that is the fertility of your life, where you've planted the seeds over a period of time and now they are coming to fruition. So she also represents compassion. So again, she's very motherly and she does represent compassion, nurturing, and self-care. So as we're manifesting in our journey, we need to make sure that we're listening to our intuition and that we're taking care of ourselves along the way. The Hierophant is our next card. This is a very wise, wise man right here in this picture, okay? It represents tradition, spiritual wisdom. As we go through our journey, especially if we are hoping to go on a spiritual journey where we become more connected, this is a representation of that. So in this card, see if I can, there are keys, okay? We have keys represented in this card. The keys, he's also a gatekeeper, okay? The keys to what we need are right within us. If we are on a journey of spiritual development, you have the keys to find what you need along that journey. What is right in front of you is obvious, but we don't always see that, especially when we're looking towards something that is new for us. So know that you have the keys to what you need. So next we have, oh, you know what? I did those backwards. I am so sorry. I messed that up. I just showed you the Emperor. So here is the Hierophant, and you can see the keys very easily in that picture. It's funny because the two cards are very similar, right? I had them out of order and I apologize. So Hierophant, we actually have the Emperor that comes next if we're going in chronological order here. So we talked about the Empress being the mother of the deck. The Emperor is the father of the deck. This is about control. It's a very interesting, what's the word I want to use? Analogy that the Empress is the queen and the mother of the deck, whereas the Emperor is the father of the deck. We have intuition versus control and power and responsibility. Now, this doesn't mean that a male is more powerful than a woman, but representative of this card, that is what it's saying. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't want you to take it to mean that there's a female male dichotomy here. So for the Emperor, it's power, responsibility, and leadership and success. So you're manifesting, you're listening to your intuition, and then you're actually achieving that success. And now, if we backtrack to the Hierophant, we're getting ready to go on a spiritual journey. Next, we have the Lovers. Now, the Lovers obviously depict two people who are in love or partnered together. This does not necessarily represent physical or emotional love. It could represent partnerships, okay? Commitment, whether that is a commitment in a relationship or whether it's a commitment to yourself or the journey that you're on. So it's not always about love, it is more about partnership. It's about truth and authenticity. In a true balanced partnership relationship, there is always transparency and authenticity. Okay. Next, we have the Chariot. The Chariot's a very interesting card to me. The artwork is beautiful there. The Chariot represents your drive, okay? Your goals, your ability to move forward, your ambition, okay? Your control over your particular part of the journey. And then again, there's a representation of duality here with the two Sphinx-like characters down here. One is black and one is white. So this really goes into moving forward with your journey. This regards willpower, being able to really stand through the tough times and get to the goals that you want. Determination and moving forward and mental drive are represented by the Chariot. And you can see as we're going through this that this is a journey progression, all right? So the next card is strength, okay? In strength, there's fortitude. You're overcoming things along your journey and you're going to keep trying because things will come up that will stall you and try to get into your way. But with the strength card, what you're hearing and representing is that you're going to keep going through this. Don't give up is the big message for the strength card. Push forward and keep going. Okay. Now in this depiction, they're taming the lion, right? So this is a very calm picture with a tamed lion. So you're getting through, drawing on the strength that is within you. There's a fierceness. So we got another duality thing going on here. There is a fierceness about this. There's also a calming gentleness about it. Compassion and patience. Draw on your strength. Have patience through your journey. Next, we have the Hermit. Obviously, a very solitary figure here. This is about guidance. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to put your head in the sand and you're going to go away and you're going to be alone. This is about guidance and also introspection. Okay. We can have moments where we need to be a hermit, where we need to come inside of ourselves and reset and really look inside. At this point of our journey, are we doing what we need to do? Do we need to shift gears? Are we achieving? Is our goal still within sight? And are we still aligned with it? Okay. This can be about solitude, but it's also, again, about spiritual guidance, insight, and perspective. So, again, if you're at that point in your journey where you feel like, okay, I need to look within and make sure that I'm still on the right path. Am I aligning with the goals that I started out with? And do I need to tweak anything? And it's okay to take time to go within and figure out if that's what you need to do. We have next the Wheel of Fortune, which you might think is a busy card. It's very, very interesting card. So this is about change. So if you've determined that you're either on the right path or you need to do some changing, this is the card to really validate that for you. Cycling through the wheel of life, okay? Things happen. The winds of change, the adapting and the adjusting and becoming realigned. It's very symbolic card and it represents fortunate change, okay? Cycles, habits, good fortune. So at this point in your journey, you may be going through cycles. You may be, as after you've realigned things, after your introspective time, you're going through a different cycle now. Then we have Justice. So obviously the Justice card has the scales of balance, okay? Justice is all about balance. balance within the world and balance within yourself and balance on this journey. So we're also dealing with consequences at this point. Have there been any consequences of your goals? Have you been able to move forward, or have the consequences been that things are a little bit stagnant? This is about karma, fairness, fairness in the world, integrity, maintaining your integrity. You're going fast and furious for your goals, but you want to maintain your integrity as you do so. Energetic balance. There's a lot of balance and duality symbolism in the tarot deck, and this represents some. And impartiality. Sometimes you have to look at things from a different perspective and have a little bit of just perspective that is fair and objective. Objective, that's the word I'm looking for. So that's justice. Next, we have the hangman. Now, you could look at this card and say, wow, that's a little scary there. But really, yes, the hangman is upside down. He's suspended, right? This card represents looking at things from a different perspective, gaining a new perspective. Maybe some sacrifices have been made along the way, and that's helping you to gain a new perspective. Also represents a better vantage point. So perhaps after your time in introspection, you've come out with a different perspective and a different vantage point that will move you forward with your goals. Next, we have death. A lot of people freak out when they see the death card. The death card is not anything scary, okay? You can even see in this representation that there's nothing frightening or overwhelmingly sad or scary about this card at all. Death represents transformation. You are at the point in your journey where you are beginning to transform things. There's a rebirth happening. Death is a rebirth in many ways. So you've been worried about change, worried about things that have been going on, and now you have a fear of change, perhaps. But what is standing in your way of change? So this is a very important card if you draw it in any kind of spread, because it does represent a transformation that you may need to make in order to move past your fear of change. Because we set our goals and we're all excited about them and we do what we need to do, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, it's happening. This is a little scary. This card just validates that we need to figure out what could be holding us back, why we might not be achieving our goals because we're afraid of change. Then we have temperance. For whatever reason, and I can't really explain it, perhaps it's the art, perhaps it's just the aura of this card, but it is my favorite of all the tarot deck. And it represents equilibrium. So if you can see in this card, the figure is pouring from one cup into another, okay? So this is about moderation, and again, the word balance. This is a balance between light and dark. It is basically staying the course in the middle, not veering off one way or the other in a different direction, but staying the course, being stable, being peaceful, and being balanced. Balance is a huge theme for us in the tarot deck. So now we have another potentially frightening card, the Devil. This one is a little creepy if you look at it right off the gate, but if you understand what it represents, it's not quite so bad. Yes, it does represent bondage, the feeling of being trapped. This is where you get a little bit of negativity with these cards. You feel like there's no way out. You feel chained. You feel like you've lost your freedom. You've lost your personal responsibility somewhere along the way. Temptation, perhaps, as we talked about, like staying the course, you've been tempted to go one way or the other, and you're not staying focused and on track. This could come back to your fear of change, holding you where you feel like you cannot escape. Okay? So when this card is pulled, it does represent some negativity, But what it tells us is that we need to break past that. Okay. So, whatever it is that is holding us in place, generally for most of us, it's fear. Fear of change is a big, big thing for people, especially when they're on a spiritual or any kind of goal setting journey. So, that card tells us okay, yes, you're feeling trapped, but there is a way out. So, then we move up to the Tower. Tower is a very busy card as well. There's a lot going on in this one. This is all about shakeup. This is about destruction. The tower is actually crumbling as you look at it, okay? Things are inevitable and things will change. This is about needing a change, actually. So you're going to have tower moments along your journey, moments of shock, turmoil, change that you may not be ready for. But understand that you can get through it, you can get past it. So you've got the shakeup, you've got the feeling trapped, you're really in a stuck place right now, and that's okay because that happens along the way when we journey through our goals or through our transformation. So then we come out on the other end with the star. So the star is pouring, she's pouring the water back into the lake, into the body of water. This is about hope. This is about possibility. You're gazing at the stars and you're seeing what it is that you want. It's within your grasp. This is the bright side of things. This is unlimited possibility. It is trust and it is healing. So you've gone through this very difficult time in the middle of your journey where you feel like, I need to scrap this. I don't think I can do this. This is your signal of hope. Then we have the moon. So the moon, you can see that we have a wolf and a dog. And they seem to be basically howling at the moon. And we all know that wolves do this, right? There's also a crab and a crawfish. So there are a lot of, and a lobster. There are a lot of animal representations in this. So this is kind of about illusion. If you've ever seen the light of a full moon, if you're outside during the light of the full moon, things may not appear as they are. It's a light, but it's a very different kind of light. Um, you're coming out of the darkness, and you have this fear of the unknown that we've been dealing with here for a little bit. But this is about dreaming, remembering, and to me, this is about tapping into lunar magic. Okay, the power of the moon's cycles, and how they can help us through our transformation journey. Then the sun comes out. So this is a yes card. There really aren't any yes or no cards per se. In like they don't literally say yes or no, like an oracle or something like that. This is a yes card though, because this is about illumination. The sun has come out after a very tumultuous time. This is about joy. You're regaining your innocence that you had when you started the journey, and you're coming out of the darkness. Okay? You're coming out into the light. And this is a good place to be. Judgment. Do you feel like this is a like I'm being judged kind of card? Not really at all. This is a card about enlightenment and evolution. You're elevating, you're evolving, so you're past the dark point. You have hope, you have what you need. You're answering the call to go forward, and you're going to have a new way of being, a new awakening. So this is the truly transformative part of the journey. You've made it through, you are enlightened, you are different, and you are able to continue going. Finally, in the Major Arcana, we have the world. The world is completion. So you have the Fool at the beginning and you have the world at the end. This represents the completion of your journey. So this is your whole now. You're healed. You have a new beginning, and you have fulfillment and accomplishment in your dreams and in your transformation. So that is just a beautiful journey that the Major Arcana cards take you through. And if you pull several of the major arcana cards in a spread, generally means, okay, I'm on this journey and I can see where I am on this journey, and then I'm doing the right thing. And then I'm moving past the times that are difficult and the times that are good, and I'm holding on to them. Okay. And as we continue to learn more about the tarot, we will see how the other cards play into this. Okay. They're also a part of the journey. So that concludes Tarot Tuesday for today, March 18th, 2025. Our next Tarot Tuesday will be in 2 weeks, which I cannot remember off the top of my head where we are. Yeah, that's going to be the beginning of April. So that's going to be April 1st, April Fool's Day. So we're going to go through the one of the suits in the minor arcana. I'm probably going to start with the wands. So the wands are about creativity and determination. So that's what we're going to do. If you have any questions, please be sure to drop them in the comments. You can also direct message me if you are interested in getting a reading, anything like that. Please be sure I will link my calendar to this video so that you can be sure to reach out if you would like to do that. Thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Take care.